Jealousy is one of the most common emotions humans experience, yet it is also one of the most misunderstood. Almost everyone has felt it at some point in their life. When someone they care about gives attention to someone else, when a friend succeeds faster than them, or when they feel replaced or overlooked. Despite how common it is, jealousy is often labeled as negative, immature, or toxic. Because of this, many people feel ashamed of experiencing it. But jealousy is not a sign of weakness. It is a natural emotional response deeply connected to how the human brain works, how we form relationships, and how we protect what matters to us. Understanding why we feel jealous helps us see it not as an enemy, but as a signal that something inside us needs attention. At its core, jealousy is an emotional reaction to the fear of losing something important. This could be a relationship, attention, love, status, or even a sense of self-worth. It is rarely just one emotion. Jealousy is usually a mix of fear, insecurity, anger, sadness, and sometimes shame. Unlike envy, which is about wanting what someone else has, jealousy involves a triangle: you, something you value, and a perceived rival. That rival does not always have to be real. Often, it exists only in our thoughts. Our mind fills in the gaps with assumptions, and those assumptions can feel just as real as facts. To truly understand jealousy, we have to look at its evolutionary roots. Thousands of years ago, humans depended heavily on close relationships and social bonds to survive. Losing a partner, being pushed out of a group, or dropping in social status could mean danger. The brain evolved jealousy as a protective mechanism, a warning system that alerted us to possible threats to our connections and position. In this way, jealousy helped humans stay alert and protect what was essential for survival. Even though modern life is very different, the brain still reacts to emotional threats in a similar way to physical ones, which is why jealousy can feel intense and overwhelming. When jealousy appears, several parts of the brain become active. The amygdala, which handles fear and emotional reactions, plays a major role. The brain also activates regions associated with social pain, which explains why jealousy can actually hurt emotionally. At the same time, the rational part of the brain tries to make sense of the situation, but it often reacts more slowly. This is why jealousy can feel irrational. You might logically know that nothing is wrong, yet emotionally you still feel threatened. The emotional brain reacts first, and logic follows later. Attachment is another major reason we feel jealous. Humans are wired to form emotional bonds, and once those bonds are formed, the brain treats them as valuable and worth protecting. When a bond feels threatened, jealousy appears as a response. People experience jealousy differently depending on their attachment style, which is often shaped in childhood. Some people can feel jealous, but manage it calmly, while others experience it intensely and fear abandonment. Some may even suppress jealousy entirely, only for it to appear later in indirect ways. Our early experiences influence how strongly jealousy shows up in our adult relationships. Insecurity plays a huge role in jealousy as well. Often, jealousy is less about the other person and more about how we see ourselves. When someone feels confident and secure, jealousy tends to be brief and manageable. But when someone struggles with self-doubt, jealousy becomes louder and more persistent. Thoughts like, "I'm not good enough, I'll be replaced," or "they'll choose someone better," sit underneath the emotion. In this way, jealousy often reveals fears about personal worth rather than real external threats. Social comparison makes jealousy even stronger in today's world. Humans naturally compare themselves to others, but modern technology has made comparison constant. Social media shows carefully selected highlights of people's lives, success, happiness, beauty, and achievement, without showing the struggles behind them. When people compare their everyday reality to these polished images, jealousy increases. This can happen with appearance, success, relationships, or lifestyle. This type of jealousy does not mean someone is ungrateful or cruel. It means the brain is reacting to perceived imbalance and unfairness. Jealousy can appear in many forms. Romantic jealousy involves the fear of losing a partner's attention or affection. Friendship jealousy happens when someone feels threatened by a friend's closeness to others. Sibling jealousy often comes from competition for attention or approval. Academic or workplace jealousy grows from comparison of success, talent, or recognition. Although these situations look different, they all come from the same root: fear of loss, comparison, or being replaced. Jealousy itself is not dangerous, but it becomes unhealthy when it is not understood or managed. When jealousy takes control, it can lead to constant suspicion, controlling behavior, emotional distance, or damaged relationships. Many problems arise not because someone feels jealous, but because they act on it without reflection. When jealousy is ignored or denied, it often turns into resentment or passive aggression rather than disappearing. Many people feel ashamed of jealousy because society teaches that being jealous means being insecure or untrusting. As a result, people hide the feeling instead of examining it. But suppressing jealousy does not solve it. Emotions that are ignored tend to show up in other unhealthy ways. Jealousy is not asking to be judged or buried. It is asking to be understood. Instead of asking why they are a jealous person, a healthier question is what the jealousy is trying to communicate. Jealousy often points to unmet needs, fear of abandonment, low self-worth, or unclear boundaries. When someone listens to jealousy calmly, it can offer valuable insight into what needs to change or heal. In this way, jealousy can become a guide rather than a problem. Dealing with jealousy in a healthy way starts with acknowledging it without self-judgment. Naming the emotion helps reduce its intensity. Identifying what triggered it allows for clarity. Separating facts from assumptions prevents the mind from creating unnecessary fear. Strengthening self-worth reduces jealousy naturally because confidence weakens comparison. Open and honest communication helps resolve emotional tension, while limiting unhealthy comparison, especially online, protects mental well-being. Jealousy loses power when understanding replaces fear. In the end, jealousy is not a flaw in human nature. It is a deeply human emotion shaped by evolution, experience, and the need for connection. Feeling jealous does not mean someone is weak or broken. It means they care. What truly matters is how that emotion is handled. When jealousy is met with honesty and self-compassion, it can lead to emotional growth, stronger relationships, and deeper self-awareness. Understanding our emotions is the first step toward mastering them, and jealousy, when understood, can become one of our greatest teachers.